Honorable ministers, honorable ambassadors, honorable senior officials, honorable consuls general, honorable governors, regencies, and mayors, and honorable guests, dear ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me the chance to share a few thoughts and convey my warm greetings on the occasion of this 2019 Indonesia-Australia Business Summit. These are certainly interesting times. The last few months have been difficult ones for the world economy. As you all know, the trade war between the United States and China continues to rage to the point where recently the Chinese currency devalued beyond 7.1 renminbi to the US dollar. Brexit continues to hang over the world economy. Regionally, we're all adjusting to a slowdown in China's GDP growth. In the midst of all this, happily, Indonesia manages to be a bit of a bright spot, perhaps surprisingly. While most emerging markets' currencies are depreciating, Indonesia's rupiah lately has been remarkably strong, strengthening about 1.5–2.5%. And potentially strengthening beyond 14,000 rupiah to the US dollar. Our GDP growth precariously perched above 5%, but 5% on $1 trillion per year GDP continues to be a very respectable figure, again, amidst other economies which are slowing down to the 2% and even 1% GDP growth level. What is happening? A few things. First of all, about 3 months ago, Standard & Poor's upgraded Indonesia's sovereign rating from BBB- to BBB. I believe one of the very few emerging markets to still get a sovereign ratings upgrade in these difficult times. As most of you know, in April of this year, we successfully completed very complex and very large general elections for president, vice president, and parliament. And since then, with the election outcome yielding continuity and stability of another 5 years in power for President Jokowi, we've pushed ahead with further policy reforms, with further policy initiatives. For example, the president recently signed a historic presidential regulation on electric cars, on the electrification of our transport, not just cars, but also buses, trucks, motorcycles. And we're continuing to push ahead on various initiatives to boost our tourism, our industry, to try to continue to improve our attractiveness as an investment destination. Now, we're all aware that right around the same time as our election, we also signed the Indonesia-Australia CEPA, our trade agreement, and I believe we are mere weeks from ratification by both of our respective parliaments. Now, I'm also happy to report that investment dialogues are continuing intensively with focus areas from the CEPA. For example, I'm still meeting every month with representatives from some of Australia's major universities who are gearing up to open up a presence under the newly opened up university sector. And I'm meeting with tourism operators or hotel chains from Australia who are also continuing to expand to more and more locations in Indonesia. Tourism is an important area of focus of cooperation between Australia and Indonesia. I have shared in previous remarks my strong belief that, for example, maritime tourism is an absolutely natural focus area for Australia and Indonesia. Indonesia is the world's largest archipelago. We have 12 months of sailing season, of boating season, potentially the only country in the world that has no months down because of hurricane season, cyclone season, winter, or any other weather phenomenon. And Australia has a very strong culture of leisure boating, sailing, yachting, and a consequently strong industry of shipyards and marinas, for example. So these are all areas which we need to continue to progress. Understandably, most business people, most investors are eagerly awaiting the next cabinet. We're at this point maybe only 6 or 7 or 8 weeks from a new cabinet, which I expect to be appointed shortly after President Jokowi is sworn in on October 20 for his second and final 5-year term. But what we can do in the meantime is to do our homework, to get all of our ducks lined up, to get all our ducks in a row. And I believe this business forum, this Indonesia-Australia Business Summit, which with warm appreciation and thanks to our embassy in Canberra, I believe this business summit is a sort of event, a sort of get-together that will help us to continue to progress our various initiatives and investment ideas and areas of cooperation between our respective business communities. With that, please accept my warmest regards and sincere thanks to the organizers, and I wish all of you a productive and insightful business summit.